Alrighty, man. We're live. We're live, and we're about to
Righty,
get it on
man.
cracking. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna go hit it and get right on into it. In 5, 4, 3, 2. Let's go, baby.
Hey, what's up, bro? How you been? I heard you was on a show called Reasons. What's that?
Hey, fat boy, what's up, man? Saw you're on this show, Reasons, with this guy named Fuel. Yeah, I was thinking about watching it, but like, I need some reasons to watch it. So, like, what are your reasons? You have 0 new messages.
Yo, got some information.
Yep.
They asked me, what should we do? Let's give it to them. Let's do it.
From Dallas to LA. From KC, Florida to LA. We watch Reasons, and it starts now.
What's up? What's
Let's
up?
get it.
What's up, man? Welcome to Reasons, the place where we talk about what we need to talk about. And the place where you give us the reason what you feel about today. It's your boy Fuel in the house, baby. What's up, man?
Fat Boy is in the building.
What's
We
up?
are
What's up,
here.
man? We got a little lot to cover up today. We got a lot to cover today, man. Navigating friendships in a not in a relationship. Navigating friendship. What was it, Fat Boy? Navigating friendships in adulthood.
Navigating
There we go.
friendships in adulthood. Yeah.
Yes. Sorry, I'm up here trying to do a few things at a time or whatever. So that's gonna be a real good conversation. That's gonna be, I mean, if you guys got friends and you want them to understand where you're coming from with your friendship, have them go ahead and tap on in. Have them tap in, you know what I'm saying, so they can see what we're talking about and also comment. And you can also comment as well. And we're going to respond to you. That's how we do here at Fired Up Broadcasting, at Reasons on Fired Up Broadcasting. You know what I'm saying? We talk to you. You know what I'm saying? So, real quick, man, it's so much stuff going on in the world right now that, you know, some things get overlooked or ignored or whatever, to keep from looking and seeing the big picture of things that's going on. You know what I mean? And of course, the politicians, the president is the professional of that. You know what I mean? You guys know, y'all do know about him, you know, saying or showing the racist video, you know, with Barack Obama and all them, right? You remember, have you seen that, Fat Boy?
Yeah, the monkeys. I didn't see it. I heard about it. I didn't see it.
Okay. Well, yeah. So basically, you know, and I don't want to get too deep in. Like I said, it's another distraction of a lot of stuff that are going on, especially with this whole Epstein file going on as well. You know, but the only thing then that kind of bothers me, you know, is the people that agree with them or deflect from the truth. You know, they always kind of try to make it seem like, you know, well, you know, it was just a part of the video. It wasn't the whole video. It wasn't just about, you know, all these little things or whatever to try to deflect the truth of things that's going on. There is one young lady that's to this day, I don't understand. how she still is our attorney general, whatever, of the U.S. or whatever. But if you guys ever seen Pam Bondi is, the U.S. general, the U.S. attorney general, of the United States, and represent, of course, mostly she's supposed to be representing the people, but she's really more so, just representing Trump. And I'm gonna just show you guys a real quick video. I don't want to get too deep into it, but just so you guys kind of know what's going on around the world besides these conversations that we be having today. I just kind of want to let y'all know, be aware of, just in case you're not seeing on other platforms. You know what I mean? So and then you guys can give me a little bit comment as to what you think about it as well. You know what I mean? But I do want you guys to be aware of what's going on in our nation. All right. So just bear with me. Here we go.
Hiding for 4 months from this committee. I understand.
Whoa, I thought
you're
you were
hiding from us.
Chairman?
You're one of the worst attorney generals in our history and an instrument of Donald Trump's lawless authoritarian agenda. And I'm glad the American people are seeing who you are, how you act, and the lack of good values. You weaponize the Department of Justice to target immigrants, working families, and anyone that Trump deems an enemy of the state, all to protect real powerful criminals, including in your administration. My Democratic colleagues have focused on your cover-up of the Epstein files and your passion for protecting pedophiles and child traffickers. That alone is grounds for impeachment. But there's so much more to your corrupt tenure as Attorney General. You directed prosecutors to investigate elected officials in welcoming jurisdictions, and you got thrown out of court when you sued Chicago, Cook County, and Illinois. You directed prosecutors to prioritize low-level immigration cases while gutting enforcement against corporate criminals and public corruption. You revived draconian
You're
law
talking
of
about public corruption,
1798,
Whoa.
which should be repealed to illegally send people to a torture prison in El Salvador. You fired over 100 immigration judges, including the assistant chief immigration judge in Chicago, without cause, and installed unqualified military judges whom you instructed to deny asylum in violation of the law. You prosecute the president's enemies like Jim Comey and Tish James while giving impunity to federal agents who are murdering and brutalizing and terrorizing.
Okay, see, now that's just a part of he's going down a whole list of things, man, that these politicians are doing that's causing, that we're not, so most people are not paying attention to, because we look at the bigger things or the trending things, as far as the monkey, that posted for the Obamas, and then the Epstein's file, you know what I mean? But this young lady, you know what I'm saying? I don't understand. This is I just kind of wanted to show this to let people know that this is what's really going on in our country, and this is who we got backing for the people, whatever. That's not really for the people, it's for their own agenda. You know what I mean? Who's that? We got good BP. What's up?
BP, what's the word on the curb, brother?
Thank you, man. Joining us. So basically, you know what I mean? I just kind of wanted to put that out there. I didn't want to get too deep into it. I don't know where Fat Boy just went. I don't know. He just went in and out. Dude, what is going on with you? What's going on with your connection over there?
I don't know, man.
But I really understand. I don't understand how they can't even get rid of her. Someone that that has a list of accusations going on as far as her job and what she's not doing. How do you get rid of her? Do we? Can we? If anybody out there that can answer that for me, talk to me. You know what I mean? I understand by voting, but don't Trump appoint them the position, right?
Yeah.
If he appointed, there's no way to get rid of them. I don't understand that.
No, rid of them. I don't know how that works, but it's the best way to get rid of Eric to impeach him. But I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah. And
Well,
this is
what
why
they're
the
doing
country.
with the Epstein files alone, man, lets me know that it's way bigger than Trump. And I try to stay out of that. I got a young brother I follow, and he deep into it, and he keep uncovering so much stuff about this Epstein file.
Mhm.
I knew that the administration that's currently in here was bugging out when they shot a white lady in the face,
Mhm.
and they called her a criminal on the news. I said, oh, yeah, it's over with now. So they after everybody. But to
Yeah.
answer your question, I honestly think that one, I don't know how you would get her out of there.
Yeah.
Two, I think the biggest thing is getting him out of there. I'm not. I don't like I said. I don't have no dog in this fight. Just because I feel like we've been getting screwed a lot, the last few terms, and so
Yeah.
I just think that he's blatant with what's going on. And with that being said, I think that is very important that we learn as much as we can from this. We get as much political power we can in the next 4 years. You should definitely know more about your local government. You should definitely know more about your judicial system, your local judicial system, and things like that. Because if not, man, history will continue to repeat itself. I think this is the time for us to prepare for the next 4 years, and prepare for 2028, because they're showing you what they're doing, and by them suppressing all of the evidence in the Epstein file, is showing you that it's more than just Trump in these files, man. And he's been the fall guy for it. Not saying he right or not. I don't condone none of that. What I'm saying is, look, if it was just Trump, they would have been threw him under the bus. But it's more than just Trump in there. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, it's more than him.
I pray for America.
With him leading it, though, I mean, he's a main part of it, and the fact that nothing's been done to him or about it just yet. I had a argument, well, not an argument, discussion with a friend of mine, where I mistakenly made I made a comment of not caring anymore because of the fact nothing has been done. I think, and I want to apologize to her for that, because that was a bad comment, because it wasn't the fact that I don't care. It's just the fact that it's kind of like, unless something been done, we see all these things that's going on and nothing has been done or whatever, what do we do besides, try to focus on, like you just said, Fat Boy, to focus on something that's, meaningful right now that we can, accomplish in the future to avoid things like this, so that's basically, I was actually talking to her about that or whatever. And yeah, she was heated. She was heated, so I do apologize by stating it like that. Like, if I don't care, because the families and the people are the ones, especially that was victims in the Epstein files or whatever, what I'm saying, deserve some sort of justice. I just hate the fact that there's nothing happening done faster or sooner or whatever the case would be. You know what I mean? But BP said, let me go here, man. Go here real quick. BP said, what's up with the kidnapping of the old lady? What do y'all think about it? Oh, that's interesting. That's what was her name? Fat Boy, the news anchor's mother.
I haven't heard about that.
What's the name? BP. I can't. It slips my mind right now. But she was kidnapped or whatever, and basically they're trying to. They saying that they're going to try to get money out of it. They're trying to extort them out of money.
Oh yeah, I heard about it, for ransom.
Yeah, for ransom.
I heard about it.
The thing is, for one, no one's and that's some the update on it so far. BP is that they have Nancy. Yes, and Nancy. What's the last name? I forgot the last name, but she's the new. Guthrie. Thank you guys. I appreciate y'all. I like y'all the house. I like it. I like it. Thank you, helping the brother out. So, yeah, Nancy Guthrie. Guthrie. I hope I said that right. Guthrie. Yes. I don't know. For one, I don't think they found her yet. Two, they were supposed to be in a demand for bitcoins and so much money or whatever. Yeah, with the bitcoins, yeah, with so much money, for so much money, but that hasn't happened. And there was two deadlines. Last week there was a deadline for last Friday, then it was for Monday, and nothing's happened. So it's still kind of raising questions as to if she's still alive. You know what I mean? And that's the thing. We don't know. We don't, there's nothing saying that she's actually, they never showed any proof that she was still alive, and the daughter, of course, she was basically, of course, in the brother, they were pleading for some sort of showing some sort of life or whatever, showing that she's still alive at least, and that they would pay the money and all that.
How much I want to bet they killed that lady and made this all up?
That's interesting. Heather just said she's probably in on it. That's interesting.
Either that or the white lady, they didn't kill them. Yeah,
somebody,
don't nobody listen.
Yeah, somebody's family. It's some. For one, they took her out of the house, and then they found blood or whatever outside the house and all this type of stuff or whatever. How did she bleed? Did they beat her up? Did they hit her? What? I don't know. Something doesn't add up. Something don't add up, you guys. And of course, it's gonna come to an end pretty soon, and we're gonna find out what happens. Too bad I don't have too much news about it, BP. But yeah, that's another crazy distraction too that's going on or whatever, as opposed to what's going on in the politics. Being distracted.
A lot of stuff, man. Lil Jon's son was kidnapped and killed.
Yes. Was he kidnapped?
He disappeared and they found him dead.
Okay. Okay. I don't know if he was kidnapped though. I don't think he was kidnapped though. Maisha said yes.
He rarely walking to death.
BP said the latest is someone knows who has her, and they want her bitcoins worth 60,000. Yeah, that's what they were saying. That's what they said, BP. But still, they haven't showed no life of her. You know what I'm saying? They were supposed to at least show that she was alive or whatever before they paid this and then everything. And then this deadline came through. So I don't know. That we'll keep a follow up on that. It's too many ring cameras. Yes, street cameras and cameras around to not have any info on it. Yes, and then the cameras that they did have, Heather, it does show a guy with his face covered. It shows you can see his eyes or whatever. You can see his stature, his body or whatever. See how he walks or moves and everything. But they still supposedly haven't figured out who it was. But there's also cameras that was across the street, one of the buildings or whatever, that had got wind of too, as far as what he looked like and everything. But like I said, it's still something that hasn't came out yet, because for one, they basically show the daughter and the son the video and everything before they released it, which is kind of odd too. It's kind of like before you release it, you got to show it to them first. Well, I guess that makes sense, right? Show it to the family first or whatever before they release it or whatever. So that makes sense. I feel like it's an inside job. True. I do too. It has to be.
That's what it's looking like.
That's what it's looking like. Yeah, it's either a family member or something going on there. All right, you guys. I didn't want to get too much in it, but that's what's going on in the news right now. And I'm kind of going to keep a few of you guys informed on what's happening, But you know what time it is. It's that time, you know what I'm saying? Boy, with history and blackness. Let's get it.
I got one for y'all this week, man. Today we got to bless on a beautiful sister. Today we are honoring. First, I'm sorry. Excuse me. First, I want to welcome you guys to another segment of History and Blackness, and I am Fat Boy. Today we are honoring Josephine Baker, born June 3rd, 1906, passed away April 12th, 1975. She was an international icon whose life embodied artistry, courage, and resistance. Born Frida Josephine McDonald in St. Louis, Missouri, Baker rose from poverty and segregation to become one of the most celebrated entertainers in the world. She left the United States for France in the 1920s, where her talent as a dancer and performer made her a global sensation. And she found both artistic freedom and international fame, quickly becoming one of the highest paid entertainers in Europe. Josephine Baker's legacy extends for far beyond the stage. During World War II, she served as a spy for the French resistance, using her celebrity status to gather intelligence and aid Allied forces. For her bravery, she received the French Croix de Getty and was later awarded the Legion of Honor. Baker was also a fierce advocate for civil rights, refusing to perform for segregated audiences and speaking alongside Dr. Martin Luther King during the 1963 March on Washington. Through her art, activism, and fearless commitment to justice, Josephine Baker transformed global perceptions of Black womanhood and used her platform to fight for freedom and dignity across continents. This is History and Blackness, where we honor those who turn talent into impact and courage into legacy. Josephine Baker reminds us that our gifts can move the world and that true greatness uses influence to uplift humanity.
That's what's up. That's what's up. She was kind of cute, huh?
Yeah, she was gorgeous.
She was a cutie. She was a cutie. Josephine Baker, man. What made you come with her?
It's Black History Month, and it's one of them ones this is one you should know. So I figured this month we should give them stuff they should know. This stuff you should know. Every day throughout the year we give them stuff they don't know. You know what I'm saying? These are these next few you should know. You should know Josephine Baker. Huge Beyonce redid her dance in the Crazy in Love, which is the banana dance. She's famous, one of the greatest one of the greatest dance choreographers. If you study dance or if you study entertainment, you learned about Mrs. Baker. She like they said, she was one of the greatest performers of all time. And so shout out to her during a time when black and white, literally and figuratively, right, where it was black and white television, black and white people, and then everything was just black and white, and she was able to go to Paris and do her thing. So shout out to Miss Baker, and we always support our black sisters for sure here. You know that.
That's what's up. That's what's up. All right, man. That's what's up, man. All right, but moving on. We moving on. That's a good one, man. Hey, give us a little clue on who's going to be on next week, dog. Who we gonna have next week?
We got next week. We got. I don't know. Let me think.
I don't remember who we have next week.
No, I know who we got. I gotta see who it is. Next week we got a brother by the name of. I can't tell y'all, but I can tell y'all what he did. So next week we got a artist coming from the Harlem Renaissance, and it is not Langston Hughes. Okay, so we got an artist coming from the Harlem Renaissance. And it is not Langston Hughes. So we in there. An artist like an artist.
By this being Black History Month as well. Next week as well. I mean, there's a lot of black inventors, a lot of black, entrepreneurs back in the day that were actually killed because of their discoveries and was taken over by the white men. So next week we're going to show you Business Black History Month. We're going to kind of go over that and show you some of the people that that was actually the real inventors of a lot of things that we use till this day. That's now so-called patent to the white people, white folks. You know what I mean? So that's gonna be interesting. That's gonna be interesting. All right, man. We're gonna get into the main topic, you guys. Navigating friendships in adults, or as adults. You know what I mean? We're gonna get into that, but real quick, let's go ahead and get this little quick message, and then we're gonna make it happen, baby. Make it happen. Let's go.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to TNRCreations.com. I am the proud owner of this phenomenal gift shop. Y'all gotta check us out. We have bags, we have water bottles, we have photo slates, we have name-meaning plaques, and so much more. I would love to have you as a customer. Check us out, TNRCreations.com. Thank you for your support.
That's right. That's right. I hope y'all got y'all Valentine's Day gifts together, because you know what I mean. You can go to TNR Creations. You know what I'm saying? She'll hook it up for you. You guys that have just been watching the Super Bowl, if y'all was into the Super Bowl, that's another thing I should have got into. Ooh, man, the Super Bowl was the most boring. I think it was the most boring Super Bowl.
It was terrible.
That's my opinion. You know, don't come at me. I understand that there was, you know, a message with Bad Bunny with his, you know, halftime thing or whatever.
I wasn't about that. The Super Bowl in general was terrible.
The Super Bowl, I fell asleep the first quarter. You know what I mean? And then I wanted to see what the halftime was. To me, it was boring because I didn't understand none of it. Period. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people say, oh, well, you know, it's the culture and it's the okay, that's fine. I get that. But if I can't understand it, what good is it to me? You know what I mean? So I understand it, and I do respect the fact of in the culture and everything or whatever for what they was doing and trying to put across for the Super Bowl. But is that really where we gonna start doing like every year now, where everybody's got to, you know, do this political stance of, well, you know, where they are, who they from, blah blah blah, and all this type of stuff? Okay, that's fine, but at least give us some daggone captions at the bottom so we can read, so we can know what's going on too. You know what I mean? That's my opinion. I'm gonna stick with it. And if y'all got anything to say about it, so be it. Oh, we got comments. The first half was the best. The first half of the game, BP, it was defense. It was good defense. It was a good defensive first half. Yes, I think, but it was still boring.
It was terrible.
It was still boring to me. You know what I mean? So, all right, man. All right, let's get into it, man. Let's get into it. All right, so we're talking about navigating friendships into adulthood. Let's go, fat boy.
Okay. Navigating friendships in adulthood. Adult friendships are hard, but they're worth it. Life gets busy, people change, and real connections take effort. Okay. Number one thing I think that is very important in navigating friendship in adulthood is maintaining friendships with busy schedules. Me and Fuel talk about this all the time. All my friends, we talk about this as adults, time becomes currency. Okay, and so it's something I'm terrible at finding a way to get. I have so much stuff going on and to get out, and sometimes so it's just making an effort to get out and to hang out with friends. And so one thing we don't understand is that adult friendships require intentional effort and not convenience. And so a lot of times, I think we all get kind of caught up in that, where it's a convenient thing. But sometimes we got to make the intentional effort. Even though it is complicated or difficult, I think that it's important that we make the extra effort. And then learning the importance of scheduling and prioritizing time with friends. And now if your friend tell you, hey, my schedule, then you got to be a real friend. Say, okay, all right, well, I am free Saturday. Boom, boom, X, Y, Z.
Oh, you done lost it.
What just happened?
Say that part again. I don't know what happened. You went in and
essentially, I was just saying, I don't know what's going on with this. Essentially, what I was saying is it's important to prioritize scheduling bonding time with your friends. But it's also, on the other hand, it's important to understand that if a friend is scheduling, that's one thing, they're showing effort, and two, that they mess with you enough to take the time to actually make it to you and make the effort, because it's easy not to go. I think we all do that. It's easy not to make it to that function, right? I am the biggest at this, bro. I rarely show up because I just got so much stuff, and by the time I look up, man, I'm tired. I don't really want to go. But this is something that I'm guilty of, and this is something that I have to work on personally as well. And then finally, quality over quantity, meaningful more than daily contact. Now, this is something that I do not as much as with fuel, but I do try to reach out. If I haven't talked to someone, I always try to tap in and say, hey, man, how's the family? How's everything going? Just check on more of well-being, not always to hang out. I'm more likely to call and check on you than I am to hang out. Really, for real.
right.
And then I got one question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Distance always a sign of a failing relationship?
Is distance a sign of a failing relationship?
Is distance always a sign of a failing relationship?
Are you meaning in long distance, or just basically mentally being distanced away from people or whatever? You know what I mean?
Great question. Let me give you some clarification.
Yeah.
I would say more time. Say more time. Let's say time, because let's say you ain't seen a friend in 6 months. They ain't called and checked on you. Does that distance mean that the friendship is failing, or that you all are busy? Talk to me.
I think it's a big risk of it failing, because if you don't, if you're going to be friend, you got to check in. If you're a friend, just check in, like you said. You know what I'm saying? Every now and then we'll at least check in. Make sure everything is good. But it depends. It depends. Heather said no, it's not. But I say it more so depends on how long and the relationship that y'all have. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you can have someone that you don't talk to for months or whatever, but they still there in a sense. You know what I mean? They still there. There's no animosity towards each other or anything like that, or something that he said, she said, or whatever, that caused you not to talk anymore, that type of thing. So when you have that, or when you don't have that going on in a friendship or whatever, that I got a friend I can call and I can get, holler at or whatever at any time, any point given in time, whether if they stayed up the block or in another state. My friends or whatever, we're hitting each other all the time. Hell, we just had to get on one of my homeboys. We had to get on one of my homeboys because he works at a post office, right? And he's there 3 a.m. He worked the graveyard shift, dog. And so he's always texting these daggone jokes. We just had to get on him, what I'm saying? Because he's hitting us up at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning in our states. He's in Atlanta, we're in Kansas City, and we're in California, so we all over the place, but it's stuff like that or whatever, though, that still keeps the relationship, bonded. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It keeps you strong, whatever, because we make a joke about it and all that kind of stuff or whatever. But if I didn't talk to them, as you was asking, if I didn't talk to them in 6 months or so, something like that or whatever, and I know that maybe they got something going on with family, I got something going on or whatever, and times get away from you, I still know that person is my friend. You know what I mean? I know that I can always go, those are the type of friends that that you can always go to when you need them the most. You know what I mean? One of my homeboy, Eric, I mean, when I was in down and out real bad, I mean, that nigga came through for me so much, man. That I mean, I couldn't call him but my brother. You know what I'm saying? So, and we hadn't talked in a while or whatever, but I knew he was there. You know what I mean? So, and that's the same. That's the same with the rest of them. That's the same with my cousin Black Lift. You know what I mean? So yeah. So answer your question. You know, it depends on the relationship. It depends on the friendship. It depends on what type of relationship friendship that you have. I think.
So it's safe to say that you're saying that consistency beats frequency.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it does. Yeah. That would be mine. Did that answer your question? I hope that answered you.
Good job.
All right. One of the things that we was talking about, and I couldn't wait to get to that we was going to talk about is identifying toxic versus healthy relationship. Identifying toxic versus healthy relationship. Now I know not now, and I know y'all know what a toxic relationship is, and that's the person that's in the relationship that basically causes drama, causes a bunch of rumors. You know what I mean? Always it's nothing ever really going right for them or whatever the case would be. So they causing this relationship to be toxic. Versus a healthy relationship, someone that's there for you, someone there to help you, someone there to lift you up, someone there to encourage you and all that type of stuff. It's more of a healthy relationship, so having mutual effort and respect, is one of the things in a friendship that you should have, is mutual effort and respect, not that that one friend talking about you about the other friend, you know what I mean? And not being up front and forward with the person that they're talking about, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Did that make sense? You understand what I'm saying? Coming from?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just follow me, dog. Follow me. Support without competition. You know what I mean? Another thing that that helps a healthy friendship as opposed to a toxic friendship. And I'm gonna give you an example of a toxic friendship. When I first started doing Fired Up Broadcasting, should I go there, fat boy?
Go ahead. Go shit. You going somewhere.
When I first started doing Fired Up Broadcasting, I tried to bring on everyone that I thought was a friend. I tried to bring on someone that I thought was going to help empower each other to grow. You know what I mean? Not to out for their own agendas. You know what I mean? I wanted it to be a joint agenda for us to grow as a team to to succeed in this business, right? And these are friends that I've known from college or from acting. You know what I'm saying? That I know was in the same field and had a certain talent that can enhance the situation. Now, I'm gonna tell you one that this is what one of the example of being toxic in a friendship. I brought on a co-host. I brought her on. She was cool. I like her. And I'm still cool with her. You know what I'm saying? It's just that she was cool, but she was in it for the wrong reasons. And it was kind of like, I don't know if I told this story before, but I had, remember our videographer, Nigel, right? Well, Nigel, worked for me, not in the company, not for just one individual, but, for the Fired Up Broadcasting. Well, this young lady felt it was, she felt that it was okay to, hem him up in the daggone elevator to make him, want to, to make him do everything. What's the right word? Make him do everything for her. She wanted the camera on her. She wanted everything to, to be in the advertising all about her mostly. That's a part of a toxic, friendship. You know, that's someone being toxic in a friendship because you looked out for yourself, but you're not looking for the team and everybody else or whatever that works there or whatever. You know, that was one. Okay. The second one was a guy I act with. We performed together. We cool guys, you know, and we still, the funny thing about it, I'm still cool with him because I'm not the toxic type, but this is the story and this is truth or whatever, and this is how it went. You know what I mean? I don't have no love lost for you, just that it didn't work, it just didn't work. Okay. And so I gave this guy his own segment of the show, and you know, he ended up trying to make his show like my show. You know what I'm saying? And use the topics that I use for my show because he felt that he could outdo me in my show, you know, and that, which is a toxic friendship, you know what I'm saying, or so-called friendship, you know what I mean? And so of course I had to get rid of them or whatever, but those are examples of someone that's been, you know, toxic and someone having a healthy relationship, you know. Now the healthy part, of course, you know, we got my boy Fat Boy here, you know, this is a healthy relationship because we learn off of each other, you know. We you know, we're very respectful of each other, of each other's time, each other's relationships, each other's friendships. You know what I'm saying? We're respectful of that. You know what I'm saying? So that's that's what a healthy relationship should look like, you guys, in case you don't know the difference, you know. But that was a short example of a toxic relationship and a healthy relationship, if you follow me. Heather said, my friend and I never talk about each other behind our backs. Anything that needs to be said or want to be said, we say to each other in private or in group. It's only 4 of us though. Actually, that's I have the same thing. It's 4 of us. Let's see. Me, Buck, Eric, Doug. Yeah, we're the main ones. Yeah. So it's us 4 or whatever. But we don't talk about each other behind the back. I mean, unless it's jokingly. We never say anything, you know what I'm saying, bad or whatever, you know what I'm saying, unless it's jokingly. We don't, you know, down each other, whatever, you know, whatever we can do to help each other, you know, we try to do that, you know. But as far as being real, you know, toxic and talking about them and all that, no, we don't do that. She also said, I don't do toxic. If I see it, smell it, or experience it, I'm out. Protecting my peace and me is more important. Exactly, Heather.
Yep. I like that, Heather.
What's up? Yes. Let me give you a let me throw you some horns on that. You know what I'm saying? I like that. Then she said, I also learned a long time ago, never hang out with people who have nothing to lose.
Yeah, that's the number one thing.
Yeah.
That right there will save your life right there.
Because they looking to bring you down. They're looking to bring you down.
Yeah.
Question for you,
that right there will save your life.
How do you know? Well, no. Here's the question: is it okay to outgrow people without drama?
Absolutely. I think it is. I think that the issue with it is we don't know how to do that. We don't know how to separate someone without an argument. We don't know how to distance ourselves out, hating and being spiteful. But I think that we all outgrow our old friends. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It is those people who are growing with you and growing and they're constantly growing where y'all still remain friends. But if people are staying in the same position and you growing, it's very easy to lose those friends. But I always say this: people who are your friends, they're gonna grow with you anyway. So I think that some people are here for a season, and some people are here for a reason.
Mm-hmm. True. Exactly. One of the things we had on here was talking about guilt tripping when you grow. Mm-hmm. Guilt tripping when you grow. I don't guilt trip because it's, you know, my growth is an accomplishment, you know, and I don't guilt trip for someone else to grow. You know what I mean? If if that makes sense. I don't guilt trip for the next person to go. You know, if that's your niche and your thing, I'm all for you. You know, I'm praying for you to get, successful and all that type of thing. But for guilt tripping when I grow, I don't know. I did. It never doesn't do anything for me. Never, what I'm saying? It never really go across my mind as me really being guilt tripped or whatever for what I'm doing. I don't guilt trip on the fact that, what I'm saying, that we've been doing this for as long as we've been doing it. And when the success come or whatever, I'm not going to be, oh damn, I feel guilty because I let this person go, or I didn't, let them part of it or anything like that. I don't do that type of guilt tripping, you guys. So, that's just me. That's my opinion. That's my opinion. Go ahead, dog. We got the next.
Yes, sir. Let's get it. All right, and this leads us right into something that's important: the importance of making new friends later in life. Right, making friends as an adult feels like dating with less clarity. I kind of agree most of all. Adult friendships are formed through shared values with less not proximity.
Mhm.
Meaning, right? You form relationship with people that you go to college with, that you go to work with, community groups, parent circles, right? The more time that you spend with these people, it just grows trust. And so this is a new phase in your life that you have to be mindful, but also open to new people, right? Because you can't get kind of like what Fuel was talking about. Once you've outgrown someone, you can't get stuck in that the limbo where I'm not gonna have any new friends. You got to get out there, and the places where you can find people is fitness classes, right? Community groups, parenting circles, going to work, networking events, and then curating those relationships, right? And it starts out with some of those things we're talking about in the beginning, being honest with each other, consistent communication instead of frequent communication, right? This allows you to kind of grow with this person or this new person that you've met. Trust. Don't overshare too much, though. I think that we have a big
Ooh,
issue with doing
that's
that,
it.
right? We we
Yeah.
we tell too much too fast, and that can just push people away. You have to give people time to warm up. I had a female that I dated where she'll meet you and she felt like because she knew you maybe a couple weeks or even a month or even 6 months, right, that she could say certain things to you that it may take 10 years, right, for someone to be able to be comfortable enough to say to you. And I think that that's a big part of friendships as adults, right? Yes, you want your friend to be honest with you. Yes, you want your friend to tell you like it is, right? However, you have to build enough friendship equity to speak on certain things. If you don't have a certain level of friendship equity, you kind of in a no man's land and you out of your place. And I
So
think that is very
I was gonna say it goes to that. It goes to that. You don't know me like that moment. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Kind of like,
yeah,
kind of like
yeah, absolutely.
someone basically, what I'm saying, says a certain thing to you that, like you said, would take somebody a long time to get to know you about or whatever, and they just come at you in a certain way. It's kind of like, no, you don't know me like that. You know what I mean? That's just like, even say for instance, I know this is going to be a little off base here a little bit, but say for instance, if you got a white friend, right? And that white friends think they real cool with you. You know what I'm saying? They don't, and they come back or whatever and they use the word, the wrong word and the N word, or either say something, that's borderline racist, what I'm saying? Not exactly as racist, but borderline racist to the point where they feel like they're comfortable enough to say it to you. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Just because y'all friends or whatever. So yeah, so I get that part. I get that part.
Yep. I got a question.
Mhm.
for you. Why does making friends I got you. Why does making friends as adults feel so awkward?
Why does making friends as an adult feel awkward? For me, as growing here in the years I've been here in California, it's different for me because there's so many fake people. There's so many fake, the LA scene is so full of fake people that play like your friend in order to get something out of you, you know. And at the beginning, it may seem genuine. It may sound like, what I'm saying, oh, okay, he's cool. She's cool, whatever. And then, the hammer drops, you know, where, they were only looking out for themselves, it was only about themselves, so that makes it hard for me to trust, uh, uh, someone off a bat at the beginning, just like I said, the experiences that I've had or whatever, yes, I get real awkward with new people because I don't know their real agenda. I don't know their real, purpose or whatever that they're gonna have when it comes to being friends with me, you know. So it takes time. It takes time for me.
I said, man, I respect that. I respect that.
Mhm.
I respect that.
Mhm.
I agree. It depends on your energy. It depends on energy, but I also have to be mindful of that too, because everybody's not your friend, man. And you may think so, but they not. And a
Right.
lot of people, especially here, man, a lot of people try to be Hollywood and never seen Hollywood. So that's a whole nother thing here. It's this thing. It's a thing here. Yeah, it's a thing
Do you
here.
think there's a certain way to test someone to be a friend or being your friend?
I feel like if you gotta start testing people, man, it ain't worth the friendship.
Mm,
Honestly, man, I think it's everything should be organic and genuine, and you will see how people show up for you.
yeah,
One of my
exactly.
bet one a dude I met in college, man, has become one of my greatest friends. Besides Marlon, man, Jeremiah, man,
Hmm.
one homecoming, man, Jeremiah, man, really showed how much he was my friend, man. And
Yeah.
so you it's hard to test people, right? You just when you need a person, they gonna show up. And if they don't, and if they don't, it don't doesn't mean that they're not your friend. You know what I'm
Right, right.
saying? Because some people don't know how to show up as a friend too. So this conversation could be so tricky because there's nuances to friendships and understanding friendships.
True, 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 true. Uh, there's one about friendship shows up during hard seasons. Like supporting friends through challenges. You know, challenges and transitions. Supporting friends. Okay, that's I think one of the ways that you could tell someone is a true friend is when you're going through those challenges, and those transitions and stuff like that. You know, uh, and I can use us. I don't know why I always use us for example, man, because we've been through things.
Oh, for real,
Challenges,
for real.
what I'm saying, transitions, relationships, the mental health, all of those things or whatever, what I'm saying? And to be there and supportive of that person is really where that's where your friendship is. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And you can go and you can talk to that person, you can be there for that person. That's when genuine friendship. uh, Here, get this what Heather said.
Heather says, because you feel too old to try to make friends, you would rather it be easy, but as an adult, it's hard. You are set in your ways and you can spot people sooner than later. If their interests or views don't match, so you say, I don't have the time to figure. I agree. Figure it
Absolutely,
out. And I think
man.
that's
Absolutely.
I think that's a problem in romantic and platonic relationships.
True,
You hit a
true.
nail on the head right there. I think that's just people don't want to get to know people, and then they so stuck in their ways that they can't be optimistic, right? They can be open to new ways of doing things and new ways of thinking. And I think for any relationship, and I say romantic or platonic, even though we're talking about platonic relationships, but that point right there, that's a two-way street there. That's romantic and platonic. And I think it's you have to be open to learning new things and also open to getting out your own way. You just have to be. If you're not open to do that, you don't even need to be dated nor trying to make friends, because like I said, friendships is like dating. It's a dance as well, and you want to see if this person is your friend or not. You'll say even some people decide to test you. You know what I'm saying? And so if you're not ready to be open to just different styles of thinking and different ways of doing things, then you in trouble.
So how do you become friends without overstepping, without feeling, without being overwhelming or feel like that, what I'm saying, you're how some people can overdo it. Some people can be just like, oh, and it's going to make you take a step back, like, whoa, I only know you for a little, for a little while, whatever, how can you do that without overstepping?
Being genuine and being organic. It goes back to what I was saying. Sometimes you got to know your role. Even like I would say this with when I'm learning with my clients, like it's some things that you ain't known people long enough to be talking about. And so being organic, being organic, authentic, which is similar to the same thing, but also knowing, like my grandma says, it's better to be thought of food than to open your mouth and remove all doubt. And essentially she was saying is knowing when to shut up. I think that's a big key. So I think to answer your question is knowing when to listen versus talking, and you will know when y'all friendship is blossomed to where you can open up and that level of vulnerability is there, that level of transparency is there. You will know. It ain't gonna be like, oh, you could tell me things like this now, or I'm open to tell you things like this now. No, it's gonna be a moment where like me and my brother, our thing, rest in peace, our thing was, I knew it was a real conversation coming when he be like, you my brother, so I could talk to you. And so I know to set myself up, because this is a real conversation coming. This is a real, and so now I know that I can't interrupt. Now I know that I gotta be mindful. Now I know I gotta be open, because that's a relationship that we've curated and we've grown together. So most importantly is just paying attention. It's the same thing and this goes for platonic and romantic relationships, man. Yeah. It's just knowing when to jump in there and jump out, but always remaining solid and always being a good person to your folks.
Yeah. One thing you hit on the nose is listening. Sometimes your friends just need you to listen. Sometimes it's not really about your opinion. And I have a friend I've known for years that complain about their relationship. You know what I mean? About what's going on or whatever or with their family and all that stuff, whatever, Now, once I've given my opinion about something, that's it, But then when it's still going on and the same thing is going on, all I can do is just listen, I have a friend of mine, that's in a relationship now that basically, is not 100% happy, with what's going on, but they're still hanging in there, and whatever reason, I have my opinion as to why not you move on, this and that or whatever, that's not really what they want to hear. They just need you to listen, they just want to, vent out or whatever, because, God's going to show them the way. They're going to show them the true colors of this person or whatever the case would be. And it's going to unfold the way it's going to unfold, but yes, at that moment in time, to be a friend for this person, I have to listen to what she's saying. I have to listen to what's going on. I have to, and not listen to agree, because you don't agree to everything that because sometimes people want you just to agree with them just to keep on moving on or whatever and feel like they're right. you know, and that's not always correct. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you
No.
just have to listen and, and then, pray for them and let them know that you're there as a friend. You're there for them to, help them get through or whatever. And anytime you need to talk to me, you can talk to me.
Yeah.
So that's what real friendship is about. That's what navigating friendship in an adulthood is about, everybody. You know what I'm saying? So you got anything else, Fat Boy? Because that's gonna do it, man. That's gonna do it. That's
it,
pretty
man.
good. I think I ended that off pretty well.
Yes, you did, man.
That's what's up, man. We appreciate you guys tapping in. Don't forget to share. We about to get in monetized and everything on YouTube now. So, we need y'all support. We need y'all support. Continue putting them comments up, continue to share, continue to like those shorts that we've been putting out on TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. You know what I mean? Anytime you see us pop up, man, just like it and share it. You know what I'm saying? Show us some love, and then give some more people here in the comments. All right, that's what's up. What you got, Fat Boy? Before we get out of here,
that's it, man. Make sure y'all send us for Dear Audio this week. So for Dear Brother, Dear Sister, make sure y'all send an audio or video clip, no longer than 30 seconds, no longer than a minute. Title it Dear Brother, Dear Sister. You're going to send it to Fired Up Thursday. Fired Up Thursday is crazy. Fired Up Broadcasting at gmail.com. That's Fired Up Broadcasting at gmail.com. And like I say, you can also write it in and we'll read it live on the show. So, and other than that, man, I love each and every one of y'all. Thank y'all for tapping in. I love the conversation, and I'm excited to see y'all next week. And happy Black History Month.
That's what's up. That's what's up. And we hope you guys got something out of being having friendships as an adult in adulthood. You know what I'm saying? We hope you guys actually got something out of that conversation just now. And that's going to do it for us this week. And remember,
if they're talking about you behind your back,
they behind you for a reason.
Peace.
We out of here, y'all.
I love y'all.